Many millennia ago, quite by accident, a god was created. This god saved the galaxy from an immense threat long since lost to history, and then vanished, their task complete. For thousands of years afterwards, various groups have tried to resummon this, or indeed any god, slowly coming closer and closer to learning how this summoning came to pass. Some wished for one for knowledge, others for an all-powerful conqueror, and still others for a saviour. But no gods ever came. The esoteric conditions behind it were painstakingly narrowed down over the course of thousands of years of galactic history. It required many billions of people all believing in the same thing, in the same way, and a fervent desire for it, the deity, to be, or become, real. However, gods are always different things to different people, befitting of their many aspects. For instance, a god of the oceans and seas brings bountiful schools of fish just as they can cause flooding and storms, or a god that deals with war can be a stalwart defender of one region and a deathbringer to another. Different people can believe more so in one or some aspects than others, and it's rare that even a handful of people have the exact same beliefs and view their deities in the exact same way, which is required for the summoning. Because of this issue, it's long been considered impossible to fulfill these conditions, as the unknown number of billions of people all have to believe the same thing, in the same way. The scientific community have since shelved the idea, believing the occurrence to be a one-time thing that would likely never again be replicated. But one species did so, and they did so completely by accident. Humanity have been one of the smoothest species to integrate. Their love of new experiences and wide assortment of skills, they're able to learn and master them, spread far and wide. Soon everywhere, from the glittering council worlds to backwater pirate dens, at least a few families of humans living among them. Their ability to survive in almost any climate led to them exploding in population, and soon they were regularly in the top few listings whenever population surveys were conducted. And it was here we began to see the early stages of the manifestation. Human civilization had a long history, and through the various empires that rose and fell, an untold number of gods had worshippers. But one entity endured even as the humans broke through into the vast reaches of the wider galaxy, and this entity was so ingrained in their culture that it crossed cultural boundaries that other deific figures would simply never be able to. As humans pact bonded with other species and welcomed them into their homes and families, they too were taught of this being, and soon it was everywhere. Adopted children were taught of this figure, and went on to teach their own children the same. Friends of humans often got told of the being, and so told their kids about the being, so they would respect the beliefs of the human children. The many movies, TV shows, and all sorts of entertainment steering from humanity also had a strange effect. It standardized the beliefs and views the galactic community held of this being, and slowly, the belief in them, true fervent belief which created a desire for them to be real, began to spread. Children were most susceptible. Teenagers often stopped believing, and few adults truly believed in them, their faith in the being having long fizzled out. Even then, they still taught their children of the being, simply because it was just the done thing to do. Billions of children, of dozens of species, believing in the same thing, in the same way, with the desire for them to be real, finally brought him to life. And one day, we discovered him. A deep space probe picked up something flying towards the galaxy at speed so fast it broke the software, causing it to spit out a repeated pattern we assumed was an error code we couldn't identify. As the thing came closer, we realized it was heading right for Earth, and quickly alerted their leadership, damn near spamming them with high alert messages. The thing slammed into Earth, and just as fast as it arrived, it left, slamming into what we knew to be the locations of multiple orbital stations. Then it hit the moon, and kept going, bouncing around the system and beyond so fast, we couldn't send the telemetry data fast enough to tell them where to look. Then it was gone. Continuing this pattern over and over again for every system we knew to be occupied in the entire galaxy. Over the course of 1/2 standard Earth rotation, we observed as this entity hit every populated thing in the galaxy, from capital worlds to lone outposts. And just about every social media site on the galactic extranet exploded. Small presents had been left in family rooms and gathering places. No one could explain it, or explain the feeling they emanated, seemingly letting everyone know they weren't dangerous. The presents were always small things, often toys or handmade gifts. They were made masterfully, each given love and care. And as more and more images of the things filled social media, another aspect of them was realized. Each item was perfect for the recipient's needs. even taking into account different species' ways of playing and learning, or the needs of disabled recipients. During a meeting of the Galactic Council to discuss the strange phenomenon, many representatives began laughing hysterically. This reaction did not please the Council one bit, and an explanation for their mirth was demanded, the Council leader bellowing to be heard over the raucous laughter. The human representative stood up and explained in full the myth of Santa Claus. It was swiftly realized that the belief in this entity had crossed cultural boundaries on Earth, and as they expanded and spread the belief, many now taught their children of them. Billions of younglings now believed in the, now former, myth of a jolly human, garbed in red, that brought presents to well-behaved children. A belief that had given rise to a new god. A god that, through action, had now cemented their belief as reality. An endless cycle, as this entity would come every Earth year to repeat this present-giving, and there was naught the galaxy could do to stop him. Even should we crush the belief and ban all media depicting this Santa Claus, it was too late. Billions of children believed in them, and billions more would do so by day's end as they opened all their presents marked "From Santa." Their belief would fuel the next event, no matter how hard the governments attempted to erase the belief from their developing minds. So now, every Earth year, on December 24th, the entity comes again. It flies through the galaxy at speeds that defy all known laws of physics, and give presents to trillions of people. And we know he's coming, because our Deep Space Pros will alert us, and fill our screens with that familiar set of characters. Ho ho ho.